Good morning. Good morning. It is 4:29 Sunday afternoon, and I am finally on the road, which I worked till almost 1 o'clock last night, so I didn't get up until 7, and I was like, till about 8. Got myself woke up, warmed up, and just haven't stopped. Now I know why I didn't leave until midnight when I went to California with 11. I only had 3 to prepare today. And I was trying to get the rest of those packs. There's a few more little things to get done for the rest of the puppy packs. So I have Red Boy and Green Boy from the caboodle litter, and I have the big Blue Boy from the chip litter back here. So I probably should have brought a jacket because I want to keep it good and cold. I want them cold and asleep pretty soon. Asleep. Full of water. Probably ought to put a little spark in that. Tim had 2 Pomsky pickups today. He's been kind of busy. We had a Giggles went home today. I should have videoed it. She was like, she wasn't totally sure. All right, I have a squirt. I am prepared. See my squirt bottle? This mommy is not playing. You play nice or you're going to get a squirt. She's got water in it. I may have to stop and up the ante here if they don't behave. All right, there she'll be playing nice back there. So they fight with one another, and then I put a puppy from a different litter in there. So we'll see if we get any rest on the way. And they already spilled their water bucket, so I just took it out. It was empty. I'll give them some water here in a couple hours when I stop. I don't know how these puppy nannies do it. Oh, hey, seriously, stop that. Take that. Puppy nanny that was headed to New Jersey called. So all you northern people are going to laugh at me, right? But I'll say New York, New Jersey, y'all are all up there together. I know that's not how you feel, but that's how we feel in the South. New York, New Jersey, please. Maryland, please. Y'all could all fit inside Oklahoma. Maybe, I don't know. I should take a map apart and see. I'm just saying. In the South, if you're going to go somewhere, you're going to plan on driving a while. Have you ever driven across New Mexico or the panhandle of Oklahoma? Should have put another lemon in that. It's just water, but it tastes good. I hadn't had time to slow down, make a drink. Yes, Giggles went home to Colorado. Now, he said they get 350 inches of snow. Maybe he put an extra 0 on that? 350? I don't know, but anyway, he's at a very high elevation, he said, and it's typically cool, which she's going to love. They have a boy for me, and he was a beautiful red. He was not very big, and he looked very healthy. Very, very healthy. He just didn't look... I like short and wide, really muscular, and he looked a bit like a Vizsla. So I don't know what happened there, but we hope he widens out some and puts on some muscle. Sweet boy. Beautiful pigmentation. Red as he could be, black ears and beautiful black mask. But if I'd have seen him on the street, I'm not quite sure I'd have said, hey, that's a bull mastiff. You 3 need to play nicey. And I do not want that on sync. My air water off sink. I could have washed my vehicle. That might have been nice. So here's my husband. It's a holiday weekend. Ah, it's a holiday weekend. Ah. I'm like, so what? It's a holiday weekend. Big deal. Have you ever driven in Dallas? Now, maybe in Dallas, trying to get out of Dallas on a holiday weekend might be bad, but big deal. Where I'm going, there's just not. I'm out on the interstate. There's no stoplights. Well, that's not true. Once I get off past Six Flags, there is a couple of stoplights to Rachel's house, so 2 stoplights, so I'm pretty good. Not that there's necessarily stoplights in Dallas when you're out on the 630 or 35 or I-30, but there can be a lot of traffic. You know, they said that was going to be a Dollar Tree, and I did not believe them. I did not believe them. I wonder if Amazon bought Dollar Tree. Oh, did you see my beautiful new necklace my friend brought me yesterday? Sorry, I'm having trouble. I got too much lipstick on. I just wanted enough to get wet. See this? It is chrysoprase and tourmaline, I think. So these earrings match. They were like really, really, really long, and I'm like, oh, it's a little too much dangle for me. So I used to work jewelry. I know how to work. I know how to. So I nipped them off a little. You know, I loved working jewelry. When I worked jewelry, I had a whole room set up. I loved working jewelry. The wire and the wire wrapping, and I just loved working jewelry. Anyway, I gave it all away to a young lady that also worked jewelry. She knew how to work wire and wrap stones and stuff like that, and she couldn't believe I gave it all to her. I mean, I gave her everything but 3 tools, and I pray it blessed her. You know, I just prayed that it blessed her. And she was actually selling stuff and making money, and I didn't really do it so much to sell it. I just enjoyed creating. And if you set me in a room, I would do that. I would do it all day. I just loved it. I loved making jewelry. So I never did anything like this with a double. I never did that. Oh, so this was interesting. Stacy said a doctor makes these. So I thought that was interesting. Anyway, it would look better if I had on a different color shirt or a different, my neck is so small it's hard to get I might want to take a few links out like that. Anyway, I love chrysoprase. It's a beautiful stone. It's classified right under a diamond. I think it may be one of the stones in the New Jerusalem. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But it is a beautiful green stone. Anyway, it was so sweet. I love it when people bring me gifts. And then Laurie, when she flew in, brought me this really cute cup with a bull mastiff on it. And I really like it. So I haven't had a chance to get it out to the house and run it through the dishwasher and make me some tea. I do like tea. Speaking of tea, yesterday Tanya brought me, she went by the Chinese place in Eureka Springs, and she brought me Thai food. How sweet was that? Yeah. It was lovely. It was lovely. So I had just drank this. So Stacy and Kurt was there, and I had just drank this great big blueberry shake, and then Tanya brings this rice and some kind of curry, I don't know, had mushrooms and shrimp, and it was delicious. So after she left, I'm like this. I just laid down on Tim's couch, and I just laid there for a little while, And then I actually went and took a nap because it's Saturday. It's supposed to be my day off. So I went and rested from 5 till 7, and then I got up and worked till 1 o'clock. So he forgot Ziploc bags. So at 9 o'clock last night, I'm making puppy packs. I'm still putting stuff together, and I said, I have to have Ziploc bags. I forgot these puppies' food. Did not do that. Yes, I did. All right, guys. I don't know what we're going to feed you. I was in such a hurry. I did remember Dave's shots. And Tim had a pickup when I was there anyway, and then I called him when I left, and I should have had him set that food out here. See if I can stop and pick something up. Here's the thing about changing their food. It can blow them into diarrhea. Anyway, doesn't matter how good a food it is, it can blow them into diarrhea. I had a sack of what they're eating for every person, and now I think I'll call Dave and tell him to pick up a sack. That's what I'll do. And bring me a sack if he can find some. Oh, I know. I should have a checklist and check things off when I think I can remember everything. I do good. So did I ever tell you about the time that I was going to Kansas City to a dog show, and this doctor up there had bought a puppy, and I said, oh, I'll bring your puppy up for free when I come to the dog show. I got halfway there before I remembered that I forgot his puppy and had to turn around and go back and get it. But that was because Tim and I were fighting. We were throwing down on one another before I left. So my mind was somewhere else. That wasn't the case today. We were very much in harmony today, which was very good. We definitely left on wonderful terms. That year I did 24 shows, so I was gone every other weekend. It wasn't that way. We used to fight a lot. And I had over $20,000 on a credit card that I was not paying off every month. It costs a lot of money to go show. And I got a silver grand champion, but so what, you know. I mean, in all things retrospect, I look back and I learned a lot and I traveled a lot, but as far as it paying off, you know, it's, I don't know if you could say that it was really worth it. It wasn't worth fighting with my husband, and it took me a long time to pay that credit card off. But I finally did. So no, it wasn't worth fighting with my husband. He didn't like it that I was gone because he had to do everything when I was gone. So he didn't like that at all. I think I'm going to jump off here and text Dave and see if he can secure me some dog food somewhere. Cannot believe I did that. Of course, these puppies have been eating all day. So this morning, I'm back in the chip pen, and I'm thinking, we need to get the bleach bath. And so last night, I'd actually thrown something into the pit, and it hit a bottle of bleach, and it poked a hole in it. I know, is that crazy? And so the bleach at the bottom, and the bleach starts coming out. So I run, get a clean bucket, and I put the bottle of bleach in the bucket, and the bleach is coming out into the bucket, which was better. So this morning I used it. That pen, so up on the concrete was fine, but this is an old milk barn, so there is like a rebar, and they made a kind of a grate out of it that sets over a drain. This stuff is strong enough that a 1,200-pound cow can walk on it. So there's several rows of rebar. So obviously I have to cover this up so that the puppies don't, if somebody got wedged in there and somebody hit them, they could, fracture a leg or something. So I have, probably 6 or 8 inches wide and about 1 inch thick planks over it. Well, the puppies spilled their food, and they had gotten food wedged between the wood and the rebar and the drain. And they had been peeing and pooping, and it had just been rinsing down into that wedged rotten food, and it smelled sour. When you smell that sour smell, typically that's maggots. Oh yeah. So I'm back there with the bleach and the broom and the water hose. I had it so strong, my eyeballs were burning. We were all about to run out of there. And of course the puppies were locked outside, but Giggles was in there next to me. I'm like, it's okay, honey, I promise I'm hurrying. Because I'm standing in the middle of it, so it was me too. So I got the broom and scrubbed it down and got it all down the drain. It was gross. And it's not like me to have anything growing. We like everything clean. So that's kind of how my day went. Every time I turned around, there was something else that had to be done. So we just did it. So in a way, I'm excited to get to come up. Becky's in Colorado. She won't even be back until midnight, so I'll briefly get to see her in the morning. As glad as I am to get to come up, I'm going to be home in 24 hours because Steffi is so big and she has dropped so much. I just pray she waits for me to get home tomorrow. And it wouldn't be a bad thing. Tomorrow's 57 days. I think 57 days because we had her C-section scheduled for Wednesday. So, and she just today began to really feel the stress. I can see around her eyes she's really begun to feel a little stressed. But she's still eating and drinking, and I know she has 13 in there. So if I had not promised these people I would bring them their puppy, I would not be making this trip. And the other reason I'm making this trip, my daughter, my oldest daughter, who's a nurse, is going on the road as a travel nurse. And everything, her sheets, her blankets, her towels, her 90% of what she owns, she says, I'm not putting it in storage. And I'm thinking, what are you going to do? Set it out at the curb? You still have to do something with all of this. She hasn't even unpacked like a lot of her kitchen stuff. I mean, she lived alone for 6 or 7 years, maybe more. So, you know, you acquire a lot of things. So I just want to help her package all that up. So she never even unpacked it all because when the girls moved in, each of them moved from their own apartment. So they all had a full set of dishes and kitchen appliances and silverware and cups, and I don't know what I can do in one night, but we're going to work at it. So I'm happy to be going, and I am sad that I'm not going to get to stay. Oh, so I had a meeting tomorrow night, and there's just no way we're going to make this meeting. Here, let me get around this. So I guess this is a holiday weekend. There's someone pulling a camper. I guess that's what it means to say, it's a holiday. It's a holiday weekend. Just means there's more campers to pass on the road. I love it that they've got their camper and they're dragging their little camper and they're going camping. That's marvelous. Yay. I think that's wonderful. Yay, you little camper man. You go, little camper man. Take your family camping. That's one thing we never did is, I don't ever remember our family doing that, really. Don't remember that. Maybe it's because we didn't get along very well. And my grandparents never, ever did that. They didn't do that. So just starting my journey. If I can get there by 9:30-ish, 4:30. Yeah, if I can get there by 9:30, I will have made super fantastic time. I get a thumbs up from Rachel that I'm on the way. She's at work. She'll be off till 11 anyway. I need to get her garage code, but I have 5 hours to do it. So I told the Lord I have 5 hours to pray. Get some good praying in here. love talking to the Lord because He tells you wonderful things, like wonderful things. Wonderful things. Oh, so this is what He said to me today. I've been parking at the bottom of the barn, so totally different place, right, than I've ever parked before. And I never really wanted to park down there. Since we made that run for the Huskies, I can't. So that's where I used to pull through the gate to nowhere, I called it, but now we're using it. So we made a big pen for the Huskies. And the Bull Mastiffs use it too sometimes. Anyway, I'm driving below that, and I've actually killed some of the grass, which is sad. Oh, we got some wonderful rain last night, praise God. So the more I drive from the house to my barn, and I park below and I drive over that grass, it's making a path. So I had this epiphany today. It's making a path. It's making a path. And I just think about what Dr. Carolyn is always talking about. Dr. Carolyn Leaf is talking about in your brain. You either have these unhealthy trees or you have these beautiful green trees in your brain. And you're making a path. You're thinking about something. And for me, I know sometimes I can get caught in someone offended me or whatever, somebody did you wrong. And so you think about it over and over and over again. Well, every time you think about it, you're allowing that person to re-injure you because you're experiencing those emotions again of the betrayal or the criticism or whatever, the unjustness of it all, right? So you're wearing a path. That's my point. You're wearing a path. And this is not healthy for our brains. We were created for love. We were not created for trauma or to think negative things about people or about ourselves. Or anyway. So this was another interesting thing I was thinking about today. I had a good friend, her dog just passed in front of her, and the reason that that is so hard is because we weren't created to die, okay? We were created to live forever. And I had this other shirt on I thought about wearing, and it's got these sparkles, like sequins. There's sequins on a little pocket, and I look like a teenager, right, with these little sequin pockets. And I loved it because the light was reflecting and there was light everywhere. And it was funny because I thought, I'm dressed like a teenager. Well, my spirit doesn't feel any older than I was when I was a teenager. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, who is this older person looking back at me? That's not who I am. So I just think about that truth that we were not created to grow old and die. That was never the plan. We were created for eternity. Death is our final enemy, and Christ has even conquered death, hell, and the grave. So, praise God. I just pray for my trip, plead the blood over my vehicle, and angels surround me, and keep all the people on that side of the road on that side of the road. Oh yeah, my puppy nanny called and ran over a deer. She didn't. The other person ran over it, bounced it into her lane, and then she actually tore up her transmission. So I need to check back in with her and see if she's made it to New Jersey. So keep all the deer out from in front of me while I'm traveling, because I will be after dark on a bit of this trip. God is always with me. He's always with me. Always goes before me. I love that about Him. May we be found to be on God's side, huh? So that's what I'm doing for the next couple of days, and couldn't be more excited about Steffi's litter to get them out of her and get them in a box. I just remember Twinkle was that big, and Tim put a lot of pressure on me to take them early, and we hadn't done all this progesterone, so we didn't know exactly where she was. It's the hardest litter I ever raised. The hardest litter I ever raised. I was shocked I raised any of them. They were so tiny they couldn't hardly crawl away from the lamp. So here was the lamp, and I lined them all up with their little butts around the lamp, and when they got warm, I did everything but sleep in the box with that litter. I even had them on oxygen. So, but we raised, so I don't remember, 10 or 11 out of the 13. Something like that. Okay, 25 minutes later, if anybody's with me, I bless you. Thank you, everyone who chose a puppy from this current litter, and praise God. Everybody is well and happy and going home.